Jack OATz to go. You either know or you don't. So I tried recording this like the other night, and it just wasn't working out for whatever reason. But I'm going to give this another shot, and I'm actually going to split it up because by the end of what I was doing, the whole map ended up looking like a bunch of scribbles. But anyway, we're at war in Black Clover. It is pretty much everyone against the spade and some of the diamond, right? So I think I can speak for everyone when I say we are all super excited for this upcoming war arc with the Spade Kingdom. This is the first time we're going to see the Clover actually move out and go full out on another kingdom. And so this is going to be an interesting look to see the other side of war. We've only been invaded, although we did see that Julius and Charlotte and all the other captains except for Yami and William were coming back from invading someone else, or they stopped an invasion actually. So not even that. We haven't seen the Clover on the offensive at all, really, not in this type of capacity. So this is going to be very new. But one thing I do enjoy about war arcs in any anime is that you can go so many different ways with it. And these next few videos are just going to be like my style of how I would want my mages to move if I were directing them. So when you guys see this, definitely feel free to add in your own stuff in the comment section below. Tell me what you liked, what you didn't like. But I want to get started. I'm going to call this Day 0. Now, Day 0 is going to be Phase 1 of our plan, and Phase 1 is going to happen the day prior to the actual invasion, okay? So Day 0 is going to be a special operations team where we're going to have Noct leading, of course, because he knows the layout much better than anyone else does. He also knows the plan much better than everyone else does. And he probably has more info on enemies that are important, which is going to be a very important thing to get into for Day 0. Then we're going to have Finral and Voltos as our transportation team, and Zora and Seke as our sabotage team, okay? So I know I probably lost some of you when I mentioned Seke or just even had Seke on the screen, but this will turn out important as you guys might see later on in this video. So we have Noct leading, of course. Noct is able to travel through shadows, and we know from the captain's meeting that he's not able to take a huge amount of people, but now we know he can take a ton of people, honestly, more than I originally thought, at least, because he has all the captains. He's got the third eye. He brought Mario Leona. Seke is there. I mean, he's able to bring a good amount of people with him. So I'm assuming the amount of people that he brought with him is the amount that he can take with him. And then still have mana left over to actually fight a triad member. So we can speculate that Noct can carry a lot of people through that corridor. But let's get into what Noct's role is. Noct is really just going to be our... he's the transport guy in this situation where he's pretty much towing these guys around the entire kingdom. And the reason for him doing this is... for the transportation team, which is Voltos and Finral, is so that they can get a grasp of the layout of the kingdom. Because we know how Finral's spatial magic works is that he's got to be able to see an area before he's able to jump to it, right? I have to assume it's the same for Voltos. I got to be honest and say I don't quite remember if that's how his works as well, but I would assume so. So this is going to be important for the day of the actual invasion and some other things going along with it that we'll get into some of the other videos. But they're going to be very important to have because we're going to need to be moving around a lot in the upcoming days. And then we have the sabotage team, which is the most important team. Well, I won't even say because Finral and Voltos are super important. So I would say they're just as important as the other teams. So we have Zora and Seke. I'm going to start with Zora, and I'm going to save the best for last. So Zora, his job is to lay... I turned off noties. Yo, come on. Leave me alone. All right. So Zora lays traps. We all know this. And one of the best things about Zora is that we already know that he's good at pre-planning. When we had the Royal Knight selection exams, he laid out his traps the day before the actual exam, and he was storing magic within them through that whole time. So those traps can become more potent as time goes on. So what I want Zora to do, and before we do anything actually, I'm going to make this right here kind of our base of operations for the triad. I put Z in there because I'm not going to let two boy Dante run the show, and Vonica is just there to fight. I mean, Xenon's running this. You know, if you ask me, Xenon is running this. So that's just, I put it off center because we have this like section back here that we don't know about, and in like the maps when you look it up, it just has clouds. So that's kind of it's kind of weird, but I would assume that they're gonna be probably a little further back than I put them, honestly, because they wouldn't want anyone sneaking around the back of them. I mean, that's just what I would think. But I put their base of operations somewhere in that vicinity. So the ideal thing is to have Zora set traps throughout the entire kingdom, or maybe not the entire kingdom, but in vital spots. So I'm going to change colors real quick so we can I change color? Yeah, there we go. Press the wrong one. I'm going to make Zora this light red, you know, because he's got that hair. I don't know how many times I had to press that, but anyway. So let's say one thing I do want Zora to do is set traps on or near this building. All right, so because what I want to happen is that these traps can range from like explosive traps to just like simple holes or ditches or reflecting magic spells. Anything that's going to help this situation. So some traps I'd want on these walls, or maybe like some just straight up demolition spells to blow away the walls, to not only expose the base of operations, but to be able to get Yami and William in and out when the time comes. And Zora, his role is going to be very time sensitive. And the rest of this can kind of be free-flowing, but there's going to be some moving parts here that need to be pulled off in a certain way for things to work. So Zora is going to be setting traps on the base of operations. I also, just for the sake of this, because we don't know like the exact situation, I'm just speculating here, but giving a broad idea of what I would want to happen, right? I want Zora to set traps. Come on, there we go. Along here, and these are a little longer than I want it, just because for some reason my touch screen is going crazy today. But I want this little hallway of traps to be laid, and the reason for that is when they get Yami and William, I want them to be able to set off. It's because when the plan has been exposed and Yami and William, who are the objectives, are getting rescued, they need to pull out and pull out fast. So one of the things that Finral and Voltos will need to take note of, I'll make them purple for no good reason, is to take note of everything in here. Because what the heck was that? All right, so everything in here. I'm like one circle away from drawing things I don't want to draw. Don't demonetize me, YouTube. I'm not even getting monetized. This is not even that serious. Anyway, so I need them to take note of this area specifically, because we're going to have a team later on get Yami and William from the middle and bring them down here. And Finral and or Voltos is going to meet them right there to take them out and take them far away as possible. And then we'll get into the rest of the plan later on. But this is essentially the plan. Now, I said I would save the best for last, and that is Seke. All right. I hope I should have put a trigger warning, honestly. I know a lot of people don't like Seke. I'm trying to make like a light green because, you know, I want to rep for my boy. There we go. That's it. So Seke, I know he's like this big joke character, and I meant to make a video on him specifically. I'm not really sure if I did. I have to look. but if I didn't, here it is in short. I think Sege would have made a fantastic Magic Knight if he wasn't matched up against Asta in the selection exams. His magic is, I mean, for Seke to come on the scene, you have to know, like, when from the day those kids got their grimoires to the day they went to the Capitol to take the exam, that's not a whole lot of time to develop really skillful spells. So to think that Seke made a spell that was both great in defense and great in offense is something really, really rare to see. And like I said, I know Seke is like the stroke character, but if we look at him for what he's shown us, he's not as bad as we think he is. Is he the best? Absolutely not. But I mean, King Julius or King Augustus thinks so. So I'm just saying. But I'm not even doing this for like the bronze cannon. I'm not even in it for the shield. He showed us something that I think would be valuable in this particular situation, and that's his hex magic with the poisonous salamander, right? So let's take into account we had a whole time skip, and for the looks of it, everyone seems to have leveled up, with the exception of like some of the Black Bulls haven't seemed to level up. Which is why Noct kind of went off on them. They're like complacent. Like Ghosh was literally knitting. I mean, they weren't really being productive. But let's say, he is the king's royal guard. So there's got to be some training required to be able to maintain that status. And maybe not as extensive as like rune magic, but I'm sure Seke somehow leveled up in one way or another. So for the sake of this, I want to say that Seke is now able to produce, let's say, up to like, I think a good number is maybe like 10. 10 is a good number. 10 of those hex lizards. And what I want him to do, and when I say 10 hex lizards, I mean 10 that are potent enough to kill somebody. And that would mean like he could create more. Like let's say he could create like upwards to 100, but they wouldn't be killing anyone. It'd be like a slight inconvenience. So he would be focusing on 10 extremely potent hex salamanders to spread throughout the kingdom. So I'm just gonna, what am I doing? All right. These are little salamander / snaky things. All right. It can be anywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I don't know, 10. Well, that's a long one. Okay, my screen, like I said, my screen is like glitching for some reason. And the point of these hex magic salamanders is that he's going to try and lay these either in a strategic place to target a specific disciple or anyone else that might come onto the scene, to be able to release that magic on and hopefully kill them. Now we know that if there are any warriors, they're probably amped up with devil powers or devil mana. So it might not actually kill them, but it would put them at a big disadvantage facing off against most likely captain level people when day one arrives. So this could tip us over to the edge. Now, considering Zora's traps, I know I only did like a few places where Zora lays traps, but I'm thinking more in other places as well. And this would mean that the captains would have to coordinate their attacks and their retreating boundaries in a way to use Zora's traps to their advantage so that they can safely get away in case Finral and or Voltos are both preoccupied doing other things, which you will see they are going to be probably our most moving part in this whole thing. But that is the point of these characters. This is our Day Zero Special Force team, is to create that home field advantage because they have no clue what the Spade Kingdom is, who's in it. So Voltos and Finral need to see the layout. Having Zora there to not only know the layout and have the traps there, he would be able to finesse the field as well, if he's with a team and whatnot. Having Zora, with just the crazy mind freak that he is, could make a fantastic plan on the fly if things don't go exactly right. So having Zora there is important. And like I said, Seke, I know he's a joke, but those Hex Salamanders, if he has leveled up, could actually come into play really well. So this is kind of what I had. A little something extra for Noct. I don't quite have him doing this, but just in case, like, they come across some like fodder disciples or some other people that they might want to interrogate or whatnot for whatever purpose, he can, I'm just going to put little black circles there and there. You know how he abducted, not really abducted, but he like kind of snatched up one of the disciples in Dante's room when we first saw Noct. To kind of pull one of those stunts so that we can kind of thin out their ranks before we even get there, which is, again, a really important thing, not only creating a home field advantage, but thinning their ranks as much as possible before the actual day of invasion. So this is my official Day Zero team. Like I said in the beginning, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. You can add to this. You can be like, oh no, this is like a bullshit plan, Jack. You're stupid. And yeah, or hit me up on Twitter, tell me what you think. So yeah, I'm going to be putting my other phases out hopefully today. I mean, I got the day off. I'm either going to be sleeping or doing this. So if you see more, I obviously chose not sleep. So yeah, this has been Jack OATz. You either know or you don't.